Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. I'm your host, Trevor, and today it is Wednesday, May 28th, and the markets were decently flat today. So as you can see with the heat map on screen, that a lot of plays just lost a few percentage points or just gained a few percentage points. So the markets were pretty flat today until the after hours. We've started to see a lot of stocks start to pop up as well as the major indexes, the triple Qs and the SPY. And it's all because of this company right here, which we could see is on a pretty massive rip up themselves. And that is Nvidia. And so if you didn't know, Nvidia announced their earnings today here in the after hours. And so the markets were highly anticipating this earnings, as Nvidia is one of those companies that can be seen as a market mover. And so with this last year, there's been a lot of fear about the tariffs, and Nvidia being one of those companies that can be highly affected by the tariffs. This earnings was highly anticipated, and investors were eager to see how the tariffs would in fact affect Nvidia. And well, we could see that once again they did beat Wall Street expectations. Another massive quarter, 44 billion. It was expected that they were going to come in at 43 billion, so extremely impressive there. And they had a better earnings per share than expected as well. And it's funny here on screen, you can see that Q1 2026. That's what they have there. Well, I'm telling you, I'm not from the future. That's just a glitch there. This is for Q1 of 2025. But hopefully in a year from now, Nvidia, hopefully they have a good Q1 of 2026. No reason why this company shouldn't, as Nvidia has been growing and of course is one of those stocks to just hold for the long term, because this company is constantly growing, and as we could see with their positive earnings report, that each and every single quarter they continue to gain revenue and they continue to have a positive earnings. So I don't always talk about Nvidia on this channel. It's just one of those companies that is a lot bigger of a market cap. It's in the $1 trillion range, and on this channel we mainly focus on the smaller market cap stocks. But if you're looking for a nice big AI play that has a lot of potential for growth over the next 10, 20, 30 years, then this company right here, Nvidia, is definitely a great company to invest into, because they are a market mover, and of course they are one of the strongest AI plays out there. With their Nvidia chips, there is a lot of real intrinsic value. And so now talking about AI plays, this is one that we have been talking a lot about on this channel, BigBearAi. And Big Bear was actually down by more than 7% today in the normal trading hours. We could see by this big red candlestick here that we were riding right around this level of resistance, right around 450, and the Big Bear was rejected at this level. So Big Bear did fall through the level of 430 support, and then is right now recovering a bit in the after hours because of the momentum that is overall going on in the markets, again because of Nvidia. But this stock today dropped all the way down 1 point to around $4.07. Right now we are trading at 424, but a retraction doesn't scare me too much in the Big Bear, because I think that is just healthy consolidation. As with this stock, we have been following alongside this rising level of support. So we can see that we have had higher highs here as well as higher lows. And so each time Big Bear has had a pop, there has been a little bit of a another pop to a higher high. And so when we just look at this rising level of support, I wouldn't be too surprised if Big Bear did bleed a little bit more tomorrow and level right around 385 to 375. But I would consider that to still be a positive, as I believe if that does happen, that we will just once again bounce off this rising level of support. And we have made some traction in Big Bear. And so that's just saying if we do return to that rising level of support, but there is the possibility with the new levels that we have reached right now, Big Bear sitting right around 425. There is a possibility that the lowest we see in the short term is 4. That would be a very positive scenario if Big Bear doesn't drop below $4 again. And with Big Bear, I do believe that the momentum will continue. Even if there is a little bit of a sell-off tomorrow, I do believe that we will get to higher highs this week. And I believe that at some point this week, in the next couple of days, there is a chance that we reach back up to 450 and blow past that level of resistance. And that is because there could be some big anticipation coming up, as there is the annual meeting of the stockholders coming this Monday, June 2nd. So next Monday, there will be this big meeting, and there will be a lot talked about. Big Bear has been under a lot of fire with some lawsuits, so hopefully they discuss this. Hopefully they talk about possible share dilution, and hopefully they talk about it in a positive sense, saying that they won't dilute shares. So there could be some big news coming out of this big event coming up Monday. So this is definitely going to be an event to watch for, and I do believe that the stock will continue to run up into that event next Monday. And so now that is on Big Bear. Last, we're going to talk about a stock that did actually see a bit of a drop off today. So I know investors can't be too happy with this play, as we fell by 6% today, and that is in the stock DJT. And so DJT got eaten up a bit. We did see these big red candlesticks, and ever since DJT broke past the level of support that we have talked about for a long time on this channel, between $21 and $27. It broke past that to the $29 range, but fell off and is now trading right back at the bottom level on this major level of support between $21 and $27. But I personally think that this isn't too much to worry about. And as I have been saying for a long time, as we can see with that level of support here, it's tapping right on there. I have been saying for the longest time that between $21 and $27 seems to be the major support in this stock over the long term. So we are there right now. I consider this to currently be a great buying opportunity. And just talking about earnings like we just did with Nvidia, something to know with DJT, their big earnings announcement is going to come in 13 days. And this is going to be for Q4 of 2024. And so historically, the revenues and the earnings haven't been great for Trump Media and Technology Group. But as I've been saying, with their upcoming earnings, I think this is actually a positive either way, because if they come in with a earnings per share that is right aligned with everything else we see here, quarters right under $1 million or just right at $1 million, that will just be a push forward, as investors aren't expecting big revenues from DJT yet. But they may be expecting big revenue in the future, because as of recently, there was a big announcement just the other day, and that is that Trump Media is looking to have a $2.5 billion deal aimed at buying Bitcoin. So as we know, with Trump Media and Technology Group, they're not just a social media company, not just a media platform, but they are venturing more and more into the financial sector, with a lot of that being crypto. So as this article writes here, the company's move into cryptocurrency comes after Trump Media has ventured into other investment arenas, including starting exchange-traded funds or ETFs and separately managed accounts with investment strategies, the company says, that are rooted in America's values and priorities. And so we have been talking about this for a long time with Trump Media and Technology Group. They are again shifting from just being a truth social platform, but doing it all when it comes to crypto and banking. So earlier this year, they had their big announcement with Charles Schwab and the $250 million investment that they're doing there. And then we know in general that President Donald Trump is pushing us more into the mass adoption into cryptocurrency. And so if you are investing into Trump Media and Technology Group, you are not only investing into the truth platforms, but you are also investing into the mass adoption into cryptocurrency. And so I'm very excited about all these plays here. Again, when it comes to Nvidia, it's not a company I talk about a lot, but it's a company that I see as a safe bet over the long term. So if you're looking to just put your money away and not look at your investing portfolio, Nvidia is a great play, and you are basically guaranteed to be up if you do hold that stock for a year or longer. When it comes to BigBearAi, I believe that that in the short term, we will continue to see momentum this week going into the shareholder meeting next Monday. And over the long term, I have a lot of belief in this company because over the last year, they have collected a lot of deals when it comes to government contracts. So they've gained a lot of government contracts, and they are a growing company. And when it comes to the last company here, DJT, I have been talking about this company before Trump even got elected. And I know for DJT investors, it has been a bit of a rough ride. But I truly believe that the stock where it sits at right now, around $21, is a great buying opportunity. And it's only a matter of time until we start to see some real momentum within this stock. DJT gets invested into Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin rises, we could see a lot of momentum from that. And again, the past with DJT hasn't been great. The earnings haven't been fantastic. And so if at any time they come out with a positive earnings report, and I mean one that blows the numbers of the past out of the water, that will be a massive catalyst to push the stock. Again, we have this earnings coming up. I don't expect it at this one, but maybe a future one, especially with the future of cryptocurrency. But I would be curious to hear what everyone else thinks about what has happened in the market today, if you're bullish or bearish on these three plays or anything else. So please drop a comment in the section below. Please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you guys all so much, and I'll see you in the next video.